welcome to the channel. This is Leanne Presents. I'm your host for this video, Leanne, and I'm joined by Alan, my co-host. And we're here with our very timely reactions to the most recent WWE Premium Live event, Crown Jewel, which took place, well, it finished minutes ago, as we're recording.
About 10 minutes ago.
And it's so rare that we get to watch one of these live and then record straight after, so we're pretty excited. It's all fresh in our minds, which we're not quite used to sometimes. But yeah, we're quite excited to be able to get this content out for you as soon as
timely
possible.
I think would be the phrase.
Thanks, time zones. So, this was held in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
They do it every year, and it's always a pretty good show. They like to put on a good show for the Saudi Arabian crowd. And it's a really engaged audience that they have there, so it gives it a quite good atmosphere. It's always something a little bit special. Like fireworks.
Yeah.
So many fireworks.
Speaking of, there may be some background noise on this video with bangs and fireworks sounds. In the UK, today is Guy Fawkes Night, or Guy Fawkes Day, I guess we'd call it.
It's Guy Fawkes, 5th of November, bonfire night.
Yeah.
Everyone does fireworks.
Yeah. So there may be some background bangs and whiz poppers. And...
So it's usually like a big display done by our city, but it got cancelled because of the weather, so there's probably a lot more
Damn you,
small
Storm.
garden.
Ooh, Rex is here though. Here's a firework.
He does not like fireworks.
No, he doesn't.
Alright, let's go.
Okay.
Straight into it with Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar.
Speaking of fireworks, there were so many fireworks at the beginning of this match.
Like, oh, they blew all the pyro at the start instead of the end. Nope. All the way through we get fireworks. Pretty good. Starts off with that sort of party feel. There's a festival that happens in Riyadh around the same time. So I can't remember what they called it, but yeah, it's at the same time as Crown Jewel. I think they coincided on purpose.
Right.
So it has a whole festival feel anyway, so lots of fireworks. This match was, I think, as expected. Two big guys hitting each other with big hits.
Yeah, that's pretty much That's yeah.
A lot of spears, a few suplexes, and one hell of a hurt lock.
Yeah. And even had the referee doing the dropping the arm thing, because they don't really do that much these days.
No. It's very rare that a finish is going to be through like knockout or unconsciousness. But yeah,
if they do, usually they're on the ground. They just kind of no response, ring the bell.
Yeah, but this time because he's like upright.
Yeah.
You can't really tell so much, and they can't respond.
That gave me old school vibes, which was cool.
Yeah, just like.
And then you got the kind of two. I will not go silently into this quiet night.
It's like, yeah, he's unconscious. So conscious you can make.
Oh, my alarm just went off.
It's a little bit far-fetched, but it makes a great reaction, so it's all good.
Yeah.
I really loved Brock getting out of the hurt lock on this one, because it is hard to get out of that thing. When Lashley's got it in, it's in.
And he had that in.
And you could see that they were sort of heading towards the corner, and you were saying, oh, he's going to run
up the ropes. To flip backwards.
Not only did he just run up the ropes, he like vertical leapt while being held in this lock. So his feet were on the top, and then he sort of jumped over to get out. Like, that man's like barely conscious. How can you do that?
I remember the first time I saw someone do that was Bret Hart, and Stone Cold had him in the $1 Million Dream, because he was still like using the ringmaster moves at that point. So he had him in the sleeper hold $1 Million Dream, and Bret kind of stumbled to the corner. This is 1, 2 up the ropes, flip backwards, and actually did flip over and pinned him, and it was beautiful. It was so good. That was Survivor Series 96.
You know what I didn't say at the start of this video? We did a predictions one first, so go see that if you haven't already. We'll put a link somewhere. It's a bit late. Sorry, I got excited. But yes, so...
Working with amateurs, sorry folks.
Brock pushes off the turnbuckle, pushes off to land on top of Bobby, and that's when he gets the pin.
He kind of just crushes him. He doesn't... Yeah, there's no finesse to that.
Lands on him. Shoulders are down, so it counts.
I like the idea. I didn't like the execution.
It was quite sudden.
Yeah. I feel that maybe he was meant to sort of almost roll over like I've seen previously, like we just talked about with Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Perhaps.
but it just kind of looked like he just kind of landed on him and just kind of laid there. And it was like...
It was so exhausting.
What?
Yeah, it did sort of come out of nowhere.
Felt a bit clunky.
Yeah, a little bit.
I wouldn't say janky, I think it was just clunky.
Yeah. It could have gone smoother,
Yep.
I think. So after the bell, Lashley goes in for another hurt lock. And Brock basically passes out. He still looks sort of like he's conscious, but the lights are on, but no one's home kind of thing. So Bobby Lashley is 100% a heel now.
Yeah, they flipped in quite quick.
Yeah, but it worked. It didn't feel like artificial.
No.
So it's good.
It's just that frustration, and we just kind of like, oh, well, he doesn't think he beat himself, and he's a bit PO'd over it.
Yep. So Brock Lesnar wins.
Yeah, we had that one correct. Yeah, I quite enjoyed this match.
Yeah.
It didn't overstay its welcome.
No, it was fairly short. But
it was
short.
But it's that's the thing, when you run the risk of someone like Brock and Bobby in a match like this, even sort of any Brock Lesnar match, you run the risk of him getting gassed and not looking as great and getting blown up, and it's like, well,
yeah, I think Lashley's
awful.
a good opponent for him in terms of keeping that pace.
Yeah.
Sort of,
they're bound to have a third match now, because obviously Bobby's won one, Brock's won one. At some point, there's going to be a third, and obviously Bobby's laying the seeds for that. So yeah,
good stuff. Nice way to start the premium live event. We then had an ad for the next premium live event, Survivor Series.
War Games
with good old War Pigs from Black Sabbath as the tune, which is nice because we've had a lot of like rap and pop stuff lately and indie stuff, and we need a bit of rock or metal in there somewhere.
I just realised they were blasting War Pigs in the arena to the Saudi Arabians.
Whoops. Won't say anything.
Ooh, awkward.
Yeah, I mean, there's tough times out there at the moment. So yeah, that was that. Then we had a video package for Liv Morgan. We were sort of talking about a lot of the footage seemed very familiar. So I think either they've reused parts of a previous video package, or it was something from like a WWE 24, one of those things.
Yeah, I think it's one of the documentary things.
If they've got the footage, might as well use it, I suppose.
But that's what Peacock and WWE Network are for.
Yeah, but they gotta fill the time. Fill the time while they rebuild the ring.
Film it with actual wrestling. That's a novel idea.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so next match we've got Damage Control, Dakota Kai and Io Sky versus Asuka and Alexa Bliss as a rematch for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, which Asuka and Alexa Bliss won very, very, very recently.
Yeah, Monday night.
Yeah.
Tonight is Saturday.
So
it's less than 5 nights since they won the title.
Yeah.
If you're looking at time zones, it's literally less than 5 nights.
Yeah. But there we go. Rematch. I found it a little bit weird. They had Damage Control enter, and then they did the interview with Alexa and Asuka before they entered.
That was odd.
It was odd. I don't quite get the timing, but okay. But while they were having this interview, Alexa was speaking, and they were next to one of the backstage TVs, and it did flash up briefly with the Bray Wyatt death moth, and she looked a bit flustered for a second.
Yeah, she kind of stopped mid-sentence. She was like,
whoa, where's this going? Yeah, nothing else happened there. They went into the match. The crowd heavily favoured Asuka the whole way through this match. Quite interesting. Asuka's great.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
No problem. But like when she wasn't in the ring, they were chanting to get her in the ring. When she was in the ring, they were chanting her
to keep her in the ring.
We just want to see Asuka and let everyone else go home.
Just Asuka's fighting Asuka.
Yeah.
Just that's it. She's fighting herself in the middle of the
Now
ring.
we want to see an Asuka like Invisible Woman match. I think that'd be good. I really enjoyed this match. Apart from the end. That's fine. That's not the way a lot of these things go.
Yeah.
It was really good. All 4 women had a great outing. Got to really showcase their talent. But the ending was Nikki Cross running in and interfering.
And it was done again, going back to the word,
Whoops, he's tired.
Going back to the word clunky. You couldn't really tell who it was at first. I thought it was Bayley.
But I wondered if they did that a bit on purpose to sort of keep it like, oh, who's this? Who is it?
Well, if you're going to do that, put a mask on him.
Yeah, with Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
Just being crazy.
Yeah, she kind of attacked Alexa and cost her the match.
I wonder if at some point we're going to find out what her actual end goal is, or if she's just going to attack everyone.
Probably that.
So I think it seems like she's leaning towards damage control, but
then she attacked Bayley as well.
Yeah,
so...
exactly. But then there was that one backstage segment in, I can't remember if it was Raw or SmackDown.
It was Raw.
Where she was like with them, and they were.
Well, no, damage control approached her because she was just
then...
sat on the carry case things.
Seems like an interesting relationship. Yeah, she comes in, attacks Alexa Bliss, and then
Ref distracted, obviously.
Yes, Dakota Kai then gets to pin Alexa Bliss for the win.
Yeah.
They get the championships back.
So, like, I question why they did this.
Yeah.
Why have Asuka and Alexa win the titles on Raw just to drop them back less than 5 days later?
Do you think they just couldn't come up with another match? And they were like, well, we don't want to give them the title match just in the actual paper.
Why not?
Event,
that would have made more sense because you could still do the same finish.
Don't know.
You could just go, well, we won a title match, okay, Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
Then they fight each other for the first time at Crown Jewel. Nikki Cross comes out, still interferes, costs Asuka and Alexa Bliss the title still.
Yeah.
So instead of having a stupid, let's drop the titles and then give it back a couple of days later, I hate that.
It's a bit. I mean, they get a title reign to their names, I guess.
But it's pointless because it makes them look stupid. It's literally less than a 5-day title reign.
Can't even keep it for a week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's very reminiscent of the 24/7 title.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a disappointing end to a good match.
And we did predict that one right, though.
Nice one. Then we had another video package, this time for Becky Lynch. Mm-hmm. I might have missed some video packages as we go, but it's not like they're important. None of them are relevant to the actual show.
No,
so
it's filler.
Then we have the arrival of Logan Paul and his entourage, which includes Jake Paul, his brother, and 2 random guys that I don't know. I don't know. People who know Logan Paul might know him. That's fine. He had a very quick interview as he got out of the car and was just going on about the "it only takes one lucky punch" sort of stuff. And that's that. Oh, we're whizzing through. Next match, Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross in a steel cage match.
Nice.
I think this was the first time we saw the drone display. I think.
I believe so.
Which is pretty cool. They had thousands of drones in the sky making lights.
Yes, it was the hourglass, wasn't it?
Yeah, they had the hourglass for Kross and then the sword for Drew.
I was trying to figure out if there was any previous stab, but I think there was.
And you know what? It's so much better than the AR stuff that they do. Because, I don't know, the AR stuff is hit and miss.
Yeah.
But the drones, I mean, it's an actual spectacle.
The problem is, you can't do that in arenas.
No, it has to have an open roof. Because you can't have them in the building or it'll be very loud. But it was cool. It was nice to see some... This is the something special and the festival kind of feel of Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
Makes it stand out a bit more from other shows, which is quite cool. Yeah, so you've got Scarlett on the outside of the cage and Drew and Karrion on the inside. And I know in our predictions video we were talking about how that she's definitely still getting involved.
Yeah.
A steel cage isn't actually getting in the way. So she does. But it was a bit weird, I felt. So Drew was in the corner. He was going to do the 1, 2, 3 and the Claymore. And then Scarlett is up on the outside and bangs on the cage and goes, "Hey!" and just yells at him. He stops.
Yeah.
And turns around and engages with her.
That was weird.
When she's on the outside, she can't stop you.
She's a non-factor, yeah. She can't grab you.
Just do the Claymore.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's odd.
So it was a little bit strange. But I guess it was meant to be a distraction, and I suppose Drew is easily distracted.
Woo.
Heaven forbid an ice cream van turns up one day.
3, 2, ice cream!
I'd actually love to see that. That sounds like something R-Truth would do. So, we do get Drew almost escaping through the door and is then met by Scarlett, who maces him again.
Yep, and the ref.
And the ref, yeah. Just for good measure.
That ref saw that quite well as well.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did a good job of that.
Yeah, but I don't know if after the last time Drew got maced, he built up some tolerance to it.
Some immunity.
See, he recovered a lot quicker.
Maybe he saw it coming and was able to close his eyes or something?
Yeah, maybe. So when you see her at the door, you're like, something's going to happen. Let's just be safe and close my hands.
I mean, I guess the one thing I thought what she would have done is slammed the door on him.
Yeah.
So I probably would have been like, brace.
Yeah.
So maybe that kind of helped to...
Mm-hmm. Or just like, Claymore her and just run.
Well, how do you do a Claymore from the inside to the outside with a door? What? No.
Well, the door was open at this point.
Yeah, but there's rope still in the way.
Just like launch yourself. It's fine.
No.
But anyway, so...
We do not condone man on woman violence on this channel.
It's wrestling, fine. So he's down inside. So Scarlett encourages Karrion Kross to get up, and he makes his way out, but Drew stops him with an ankle pick, drags him back in. Scarlett then decides to lock the cage so that Drew can't get out.
Yep.
Drew climbs over to get out, and then she's like, oh no, and then can't open the door again.
Drew was discernibly going very slow when he was on the top to make it look a bit closer,
Drew gets to the floor before she gets the door
open.
open.
It was close. I think if it'd been
close.
2 seconds more in it, Kross would have...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always feel like they breach the top, and then they start climbing down, and I'm like, I know it's a long way, but just jump. You'll hit the floor.
How about we put you like 14 foot up and get you to jump off it and see how you deal with it?
Jump. They know how to fall. They're wrestlers. Anyway, yes. Yeah,
I thought I taught you better than this.
I'm joking. Honestly, I'm joking. I know it still hurts. Oh, yawn in my face. I found this a very fun match. I don't think it wasn't everything that I hoped for. I think it wasn't quite as brutal as I expected it to be.
No.
But it was still fun.
Yeah.
And there were some good spots for both the guys. And Drew
There's
won.
a lot of back and forth, which is good. It wasn't just Drew or Kross dominating the other. There was a lot of back and forth. And
definitely being in the steel cage gives them a different environment to do different stuff. And I think they did utilise it.
Yeah, well, suplex off the top.
Yeah.
I was surprised that it was an escape finish as opposed to a pinfall finish. When she locked the door, I figured Drew was going to just beat up Kross and then pin him. So I'm a bit surprised they went for the escape route, but I'm kind of glad because you don't really see much of cage escapes these days.
I liked it. I feel like it was kind of a screw you. You locked the door. Doesn't make a difference. I'm out.
Yeah. We did get that one right as well.
Whee!
On a roll.
On a roll. All right. Continuing on the roll. Next happenings is the Bloodline arrive in very similar cars to Logan Paul, but I don't know. As far as I know,
service or something.
they're just black Land Rover-y looking things. I don't know what they actually are.
I think it's just the same car and they go around the block picking up different people.
Ah, but Bloodline had 2. One for the Usos and one for...
Just right.
One for Roman and...
Just right, it's the Bloodline.
Yeah, they get extra cars. There was an attempt at an interview and Roman's just like, nah, because he's basically asked to respond to the one lucky punch line.
Yeah.
And then you just get Paul Heyman going, one lucky punch. And then
is it one lucky punch or one lucky shot?
It might be one lucky shot. I don't know.
That sounds more fun. Yeah, but yeah, yeah.
It was funny anyway. I love a good Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
I still got as my ringtone Paul Heyman doing John Cena's music. It will always be there.
I remember you in a meeting once and that went off and you were just like...
It was so funny. I loved it. All right, then we move on to our next match. Judgment Day, which is Dominic Mysterio.
Domino
I
Mysterio.
got pizza on the brain.
Domino Mysterio. Domino Mysterio.
Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus the OC, which is made up of AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows.
Wee.
I wasn't writing down names as they were being said. Shush, I know people. Okay. I loved this match. I thought this was excellent.
Oh, it was a phenomenal match, yeah. No pun intended.
Especially AJ Styles and Finn Balor in the ring together. That is
We just need
magic.
to see a proper one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, it was at a quite a high level, maybe this high, and then they get in the ring together and it's like, straight up. It was already good.
I think what they should do next, right, or like maybe give it a couple of months to keep it feuding, whatever, and have the factions expand or whatever, and then go, right, leader versus leader, the loser disbands their faction. Imagine.
Yeah, that would be good.
Oh, that'd be great.
But Judgment Day don't have a leader.
Well, yeah, but you know, yeah, he'd be saying that. Yeah, it's Finn Balor. It's Finn. Yeah. It's definitely not Dominic Mysterio. We got tagged in by, I think it was Damian Priest when Luke Gallows was in the ring, and he was like,
that was such a good face.
deer in the headlights kind of, oh crap.
So you did have Rhea Ripley obviously came out with Judgment Day, and she had her hair styled like Beth Phoenix. She's styled like the late Beth Phoenix. Obviously, Beth Phoenix is still alive. She's just took a bit of a beating, that's all.
Yeah.
And she interferes quite heavily. Gets Finn Balor, I think it was Finn Balor, basically has him on her shoulders. Not Finn Balor. AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Why would she have Finn Balor on her shoulders? That would be weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just to take him for a fun ride. But it allows Finn Balor to get the upper hand, and he hits a coup de grace and pins AJ to win.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we had that one wrong, unfortunately, but...
Yeah.
They actually mentioned Carl Anderson's the never open weight champion of New Japan Pro Wrestling as well, which I was surprised about, because they haven't really made any reference to it.
No.
So maybe it was a way, as we talked about in the predictions video, which we'll put a link somewhere, where he was supposed to be fighting in Japan and defending the title, and obviously he didn't because he was double booked. Maybe this was a way to appease New Japan, to get them to mention New Japan Pro Wrestling on the event.
That sounds quite likely, because you said they'd come to some agreement, so we've been part of it.
But we don't know what the agreement was, because they just kind of went, yeah, okay, cool, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I know, I thought it was a great match all the way through.
Yeah, it's good. I very much enjoyed it. Right up there.
I was expecting that potential neutralizer for Rhea Ripley to turn up.
Yes.
Maybe we'll see on Raw.
Maybe, yeah. It could have happened at any moment. And with the hairstyle and everything, it's like,
they're teasing Beth.
It's gonna happen. And then it didn't. But sometimes you need a negative surprise to make
a
positive surprise more positive when you get to it. Moving on.
Please do.
Okay, I think there was probably a video package somewhere here. I didn't write it down. Fine. Braun Strowman versus Omos.
Yep.
The giant versus the monster. Or as Omos seemed to think that Braun Strowman was also trying to be a giant.
Yeah.
Like, no. Monster.
Yeah, Braun's never called himself a giant.
No.
It's always been the monster among men.
I do really like the concept of Omos making Braun Strowman look normal. I think that's a great line to have put in. It's sort of true.
Yeah.
It does look like he's a regular sized man fighting a big man, rather than a big man fighting a much bigger man.
Although when they do start in sort of, even with the interviews and stuff, Braun's kind of putting his face down.
Yeah, he's sort
to
of
make himself look like he's a bit smaller. It's like, well...
Yeah, and Omos is probably like lifting himself up a bit.
I kind of get that, but it looks a bit weird when you just got to someone and going, boom, into his chest. Because it looks like you're just looking for a cuddle.
Or like, what are your shoes like? Let me see your shoes.
Can I see your belt buckle, please?
This match was okay.
Yeah, it was better than I expected, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I thought there might be a bit more back and forth than there was, but
Omos was very dominant.
Yes, he was extremely dominant. And talked a lot.
Oh, he talked way too much.
Constantly.
Way too much.
So it's like I know like your mouthpiece isn't here today, but that doesn't mean you have to say things every second of a match.
Yeah, that was a bit. It felt forced. It felt too much.
Yeah, but just wrestle.
I also feel that Braun didn't really get enough offense in.
Yes, agreed.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, he only got a few like bursts.
Yeah,
and
it's like considering he's like a power lifter as well. Like the test of strength thing, you should have won that. I don't care how tall you are. If you're a power lifter, you've got that strength.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I guess it's the center of gravity was off.
But there's you compare Braun's arms to Omos's arms.
Yeah.
Braun's arms are probably twice the size.
Yeah, but having that leverage of Omos being above sort of gives him more. I don't know, science and all that sort of stuff.
Biology. I guess. Almost
dominant throughout.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, Braun manages to body slam Omos. I think it's the third attempt.
Power slam.
So
he tried body slamming him twice. And I did make a point of, I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to do Hogan versus Andre at WrestleMania 3, I think it was, where Hogan, he tries twice, and he's like, oh, I can't do it, he's too heavy, and then the third one, he's like, boom! And it's like, oh, okay, and I figured that's where they were building to, but it wasn't a body slam, it was a running power slam he hit him with. So.
He looked like he was proper gassed, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, Omos is like 400 odd pounds, and you've got this just thing on your shoulder, and you're like, because he didn't just, boom, he was there, and he's kind of carried him around for a couple of seconds trying to get into position, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Almost just hanging there like a limp fish.
Yeah, definitely. I think what I've put down is that I would have quite liked to have seen a bit more in terms of Omos was taken down by one move, essentially.
Yeah.
After being dominant throughout.
Yeah.
One move, pin for the win. So even if he kicked out once...
But Braun got that one lucky hit.
Just have him kick out once.
Yeah.
And then maybe get one more power slam or manage to run him down around the outside and then get the pin.
After such a strong showing, one big move was enough to put him down. That felt a bit...
When, like, Braun took, I don't know how many moves and kept getting up, it sort of, the balance was all Omos and then suddenly switched where it should have equalised a bit first, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm not a booker.
Yeah, I
don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
We had that one right.
Whee! Okay. We are whizzing through today. Oh my goodness. Okay. I shouldn't say that because that's when we start going on tangents. Next match may have been a video package somewhere between. I don't know. I didn't write it down.
I think because of the fireworks, Rags has been a little bit more needy to the last couple of nights.
Yeah, so we've been having cuddles. So we have the Usos, Jimmy and Jay Uso, just because I've been seeing the names of the people in the teams, so I don't want to leave them out. Versus the Brawling Brutes, Butch and Rich Holland, for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. Acknowledge.
Sorry, did you say Rich Holland?
Ridge.
It's Ridge Holland.
I'm going to blame autocorrect.
No.
Which probably is not why.
It's Ridge Holland.
Ridge the fridge.
Yeah, exactly. It's not Rich the fridge, is it? That doesn't work.
Sorry, Ridge.
Doesn't work.
Richard
Richard
Holland.
What, right, okay, so what would you... If his name is Rich, what do you rhyme it with? Rich Holland.
Rich the Titch.
Rich the... No.
Rich the... Oh, no, don't say that one.
Okay. Oh, I think I see where you're going. Yeah, okay, moving on. Whoops.
There he goes. Right, okay. We start with the Brawling Brutes being quite dominant, like, in the first few seconds.
They just hit that gate running.
Yeah, causing the Usos almost immediately to be like, no, we're out.
Yeah, backfooting, nah, we don't need this,
Yeah, no disqualifications.
They can't win on a count out or a DQ, yeah. I kind of like that.
Yeah, that was quite good. Sort of realistic for what the Usos are, I think. But then Butch just leaps at him.
Yeah, he's like, nah, mate.
Get in the ring. So in they go. This is a well-paced match, I think, and it was very engaging. They're all great guys. They do some great stuff. And this match did have the best line from the commentators.
I think it was Wade Barrett, wasn't it?
Yeah, so this is in reference to, obviously, the Usos injured Sheamus.
Yeah.
They broke his elbow. And so the Brawling Brutes do something similar to, I can't remember which one, Jay or Jimmy.
I think it was Jimmy.
Where Butch jumps onto his arm while it's on the steel steps. And from the commentators, if someone takes out your mate, you owe them. That's how it goes at the pub.
Thanks, Wade.
That's
sound advice there.
That's how it goes at the pub.
That's how it goes at the pub.
And in that, proper, English accent.
Yeah, he's got that thick accent.
So you know where he's from.
Yeah. Brilliant. So loved it. Loved that. That was fantastic. Wade Barrett on commentary is probably one of the best things to happen to the main roster.
That's how it goes at the pub. We're not at the pub. They're not at the pub.
People watching this might be at the pub.
They might be.
Never know.
Never know.
There are some pubs in Britain that do watch parties.
Yeah. Next thing I've written. Jay has t-shirt trubs. I don't even know really how. I think I missed the t-shirt being
Ridge had him on the outside for 10 beats and he tore the shirt.
Oh, yes.
So he kind of ripped it to get the chest bare to do the 10 beats.
So the shirt is still together at the bottom seam.
And the back, yeah.
and just ends up round Jay's ankles.
Yeah, obviously the movement and the shifting of fabrics.
He's down his ankles. And then he has, I think, Butch is on the top turnbuckle.
Yeah.
And Jay tries to
I think it was a super kick.
a super kick, but his legs are basically tied together.
He ends up sort of gut-shotting him instead.
It's funny, but I mean, kudos to him for still trying it. He obviously knew it was there. It's like, this is gonna be so awkward.
Do you think he was just kind of doing more muscle movements with his legs, trying to get the shirt to just completely rip and just get off? And
but like, you could have just paused very slightly, taken it off, and then gone.
To be fair, it did drop very quick.
Right, you're in the way.
I'm not.
It's gonna get fur in my drink.
You're in the way. Oh.
Ah.
With that part of his body, that's the least thing you want to worry about going in your drink.
There it is. There's fur.
Whee!
Got it.
Thanks,
it's on
Rex.
the ridge.
On the
so after the t-shirt trubs, they get a 1D and
off
Jimmy
the top, no less.
off the top. Jimmy pins Butch for the win, and they retain the tag team championships.
Yeah.
Undisputed.
There was some brutal looking moments in this match.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
really good stuff. Know the first word I put on my notes for this was? Banger.
Banger. It was a banger.
Damn, that was a great tag team match.
It was excellent. It was very fun.
Yeah.
And the pacing, spot on.
It was.
The crowd loved it. We loved it.
I even come to a point where Ridge was hitting a white noise on one of the Usos. Obviously, as a tribute to Sheamus, and it's Sheamus. Obviously, I don't know how long he's going to be away from the company, or sort of on vacation or whatever. Or recuperating. With his new wife, recuperating. Whoa.
He's all over the place.
But yeah, it was just really nice to sort of have them do some of the moves and keep Sheamus in the forefront of people's minds with that, you know.
Definitely.
Okay.
Good stuff. Did we get that one right?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Doing good, mostly. Video package, Cody Rhodes. We haven't seen in a long time. He's still recovering from injury.
Yeah.
My main takeaway from this video package was that I am still uncomfortable seeing him wrestle with that injury.
Yeah. They said it's going to be around 9 months. It's only been 5 thus far.
He's still got time.
If he's lucky, he'll make it back in time for Rumble, I reckon.
Yeah.
As a surprise entrant.
Maybe.
But it's obviously it needs to be cleared first. So.
Yeah. It's like, just seeing it. And they're like, I got nothing but respect for him. And we're just there like, he shouldn't have been wrestling.
You set an unstandard precedent.
Yes.
Unstandard precedent? You know what I mean?
Unrealistic.
Yeah. Because if people then are going to get injured and they can hide it, they will. Then it'll get worse, and then it'll get worse and even more worse, and then that's it. Your career's over.
Health comes first.
Yep.
Look after yourselves, all you wrestlers who watch this video. Next.
I mean, as it stands, we've had like 2.8 thousand people watch our last video, so some of them could be wrestlers, right?
200 subscribers. Sorry, I'm excited. All right.
200
next
subscribers.
Match. Cheers. From our mugs.
And to think we were thinking to get like 20.
Crazy times. Anyway, that's a tangent.
Yeah. Continue.
Bayley versus Bianca Belair in a last woman standing match.
Yep.
More drones.
Yep.
I can't even remember what they were doing. But they were drones.
Was it the damage control logo?
Oh yes, it was. It was the damage control logo.
I don't think they did anything with Bianca because I needed a pee break.
I don't think they did. There was some guy in the crowd who had a ponytail, just like a normal sort of length, sort of maybe my length hair. And I could just see him. He was like, he had his hair like this. It's like, it's so funny. More of that guy, please. Oh, okay. I keep closing my notes. Okay. Here are some of the things. Magic kendo stick. The kendo stick that was used, thrown, and landed perfectly balanced on the crowd barrier.
On the guardrail, yeah.
Just
that was impressive. I didn't even know how the hell that happened.
magic.
Yeah. Like, I know some kid touched it, but I
Yeah.
don't know if he sort of made it balance or if he was just trying to grab it and his parents were like, "Oi!"
Maybe.
I don't know, but
It's just
for that to land there, even if the kid did sort of sturdy it and balance it, it still landed on that guardrail and would look like it was going to regardless, you know? That was wild.
Yep. We had plenty of chairs being used. Standard. Ladders.
Yep.
We'll get back to the ladder later on. Steel steps.
Yep.
Ouch.
Yeah.
There was some ouch with the steel steps.
Yeah.
Just like you had Bianca Belair by the ring apron.
In the notch.
And you know the stairs have the triangle to go on the corner.
The notch.
The notch. And then Bayley just like slamming it into her.
That was a great visual though.
And then trying to keep her down, because obviously it's a 10 count to get up, by putting a ladder over the hole so she couldn't stand up. But she did, because she could move the ladder.
At that point, I'm putting like loads of chairs there instead.
Yeah,
over
you
the
just
hole,
pile
but
stuff
yeah,
or sit on it.
You can't because you're obscuring the cross count.
Yeah, it's true. Bayley did have some table trubs.
Hey.
Only minor table trubs. She put the legs up, one of them fell down.
Yeah, I think the lock mechanism didn't quite hit the right place.
She fixed it. It was a bit of a weird table. I don't think it's their standard tables, because usually you get slammed into a table and it like breaks into a load of pieces. This had a perfectly straight line down the middle.
Yeah. Well, that came a bit later on, so.
Yeah. I'm a bit all over the place on this one. It's all good. Bianca had stair trubs. Was it before or after getting caught?
It was after.
Tried to pick up one of the
She threw 'em.
sets of stairs.
The top part.
Sort of turned it over and then tried to lift it. But she turned it over so that she couldn't get to the handles that are deliberately in the steel stairs for lifting them. But she got them eventually.
Roughest, toughest, strongest, clearly not the smartest.
Klutziest.
Or not the stariest.
We had Bayley. This one's a bit more serious thing. Bayley having ramp trubs.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
they'd gone up the ramp and they were sort of on
Not
the
by a
way
massive
back.
amount, yeah.
And something happened. I think they went too close to the edge.
It looked like Bianca maybe went a bit off balance or something, leaned into her and kind of a bit of force onto Bayley or something.
Ow. Yeah, so Bayley like went over on her ankle down.
Yeah.
And possibly hit her. I don't know, it looked like she might have hit her head or something, but hard
It
to
looked
tell.
more like she might have cracked her knee on some of the metal struts, but I don't know.
Yeah. But, I mean,
But the ref was like, oof.
Yeah, you know it's not planned because he doesn't start counting. He goes over to make sure she's okay and keeps Belair back. But she seems okay. She got back into it.
Yeah, yeah.
All fine. She gave the all clear.
Rags, stop.
They used an equipment case.
Yep.
Which was quite fun. I think Bayley slammed it into Bianca Belair at the top of the ramp. Then basically put Belair into it and closed the lid.
I think she slammed her into it while it was open, so she kind of fell into it as it ran into it. And then slammed the lid down.
Slammed the lid down. And we were like, lock it!
Yeah.
But she didn't lock it. But the best bit was Belair on getting out of it. When the lid closed, it did close on her ponytail.
Yeah.
So she had to open it back up. So she had ponytail trubs. Ponytail.
Okay. That's enough.
He's being a silly boy. Golf cart.
Yep.
Golf cart was fun. Although no one actually got run over by the golf cart. But
No,
it's
that
probably
looked
for the
really
best.
weird.
It just like stopped. But they did then have Bayley on top of the golf cart while Belair is driving it back to the ring, which was quite fun.
This is where the table spot came into it.
Yes. I can't even remember exactly how it happened.
She tried to throw her off the
Belair
top.
tried to throw her off the top of it onto the table.
Yeah. Table did not give.
Ooh, slam into the table, onto the floor. And you could then see a sort of fault line in the table.
Sounded brutal.
It did. And then later on, Belair
It was
just
literally a
threw
couple
it.
of seconds later. I think she puts her on the apron,
Yeah.
picks her up and powerbomb and just.
And then it's that straight line,
Yeah.
and it's like, it reminded me of, I think it was on an NXT event, where they went through the, they had, on the announce tables,
Yeah.
you've got the covers with the branding on it, and that broke
it
in
was
a
Walter.
perfect zigzag.
And yeah, bam! And it would.
Perfect zigzag. It's like someone's cut that.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, so loads of stuff being used. And the finish I found was quite interesting. Maybe disappointing, but interesting. In that Belair, or Bianca, same person, Bayley tried to set it up. She got the ladder so that you had it flat like that, I suppose. and she was going to try and put Bella into
I love that you go
it.
for your entire arm. You can just do it with your hands. But
then Belair flips it so that she manages to get Bayley into the ladder. So obviously you've got
she hits the KOD on the back of the chair.
That's right.
And she lands knees first on the back of that chair. That was brutal as well.
Ouch. There's painful spots in this one. So
Bianca's just sloppy.
Because of the support strut thingies, you've got Bayley's legs into like the apex of the ladder, and then it's closed on her, and you've got the support things there, and then Belair rams it into the turnbuckle, so it's wedged
It's into
underneath.
the ring post.
Into the ring post, under the turnbuckle. So
Just
there was no way for Bayley to get out. She could have got out, but it would longer than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So you cannot, from inside, you cannot get that unjammed. She was trying to, I like that she was clearly trying really hard to get out.
Yeah.
It wasn't like she was just like there and like, oh no, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
She was like trying to pull her way out of it, but...
That's why Bayley's always been one of the best. She'll kind of make a good show of it, you know.
She sold it really well. So, yeah, not the outcome we were maybe wanting, but a clever way of winning a last woman standing match. So I quite appreciated that.
Yeah.
Fun match, but a few things did go wrong, so definitely not a perfect one, but it was fun.
You heard that one right.
Unfortunately.
To be fair, I did kind of say, I think Bianca is going to win it after I put my prediction down, but I decided to stick my guns.
Yeah.
Because if they are still going to do Raw versus SmackDown at Survivor Series, it's going to be Bianca Belair versus Ronda Rousey.
Yes, that's true.
Which I just don't care about.
No. There we go. Alright.
Yeah. I mean, it was a decent match, but I don't know, something fell off for me. So it didn't quite gel right somewhere.
No,
I don't know what it is.
So many things were sort of going slightly wrong, or like moves that just looked the wrong sort of painful, that it did feel a bit more like we were watching, I don't know, a comedy.
I think the problem is when you've got something like a last woman standing match in WWE, they don't really go as full out as they do in AEW.
No.
You watch something like a street fight or a brawl in AEW with the women involved, it actually looks brutal, it looks physical, it looks violent.
Yeah.
WWE don't quite pull the trigger on that.
The painful bits look like mistakes.
Yeah. So I think maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
And that's not to liken it to AEW, it will be the same in any other company. TNA, ECW, WCW, WWF. You know, you'd have anything like that would happen, it would look brutal.
Yeah.
Now it just seems like they're just kind of pulling the hits too much.
Biggest casualty was that kendo stick got splintered.
It did, yeah.
Okay. Next, Bray Wyatt's bit.
Yep.
So everyone knew he was coming out, so no big surprise, which is fine. The music starts, you immediately get all the fireflies with everyone.
As soon as it went dark,
torches.
the crowd was like, yeah!
It's time! The drones came out again and made the death moth kind of emblem in the sky.
Which was cool.
Out comes Bray Wyatt with his usual just beautiful entrance. So good. I think it's so simple, but it's just
it's very reminiscent of Undertaker as well.
Yeah.
Like the Undertaker would be
how
the same.
Slow he's walking and
don't rush, take your own time. You hold them in your palm of your hand,
I think you were saying this is the longest section of his entrance music that we've heard.
I think so, yeah. I don't remember hearing that far into the music.
He's drinking it in. So it's the same sort of formula as his previous appearances. It's his heartfelt speech. And then at some point is interrupted. So he's talking a lot about how he's here to rewrite the ending to his story, and how he has regrets about how things went before and he went too far and all this, but he's here to change.
In reference to the
things.
Fiend.
Yeah, and like the wearing the mask. And then Uncle Howdy comes on the screen. Unfortunately, we didn't get the reveal.
I was half expecting Uncle Howdy to be on the rampway or just by the entrance, you know.
No, we've got him on the screen, and he does his bit, basically contradicting everything that Bray Wyatt said, and saying that he knows he's going to go too far anyway at some point, so why not just go for it, wear the mask, and don't worry about hurting people. If you hurt people, just don't take the mask off. Yeah. So it's quite interesting. It's this sort of psychological element to it that's quite intriguing. It's like, how is this going to affect him?
Even before the Fiend the Wyatt family would be very similar. It'd always be psychological aspects to it.
Yeah.
With him as the leader of the Wyatt family it was great, and that's why I've always appreciated Wyatt stuff, especially when he's writing for himself.
Yes. It's just good stuff. We like it, and we'll find out who Uncle Howdy is eventually. I'm sure.
I still reckon it's Bo Dallas.
Yeah, could well be. See, part of me just thinks it's Bray Wyatt. It's just still him, but I know that.
But where's the payoff? Where's the payoff?
True.
If Uncle Howdy's going to be like, well, show me what you've got, and you've got to have that representation.
Yeah.
I understand, but the for me, the more that you see the packages of Uncle Howdy, the more the voice sounds similar to Bray, but not exactly like Bray.
Yeah, I think so.
It doesn't quite sound as husky like his voice is.
Yeah, no.
And the closest person to that to throw on that accent would be Bo Dallas.
Yeah.
Or even his dad, Mike Rotundo.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
I know people keep going, oh, it's Malachi Black because he's wearing one white contact lens. Jeff Hardy did that too. Jeff Hardy's Uncle Howdy? No.
Imagine.
Neither's Malachi Black,
No.
so...
Okay, yeah, we recognise his voice with Malachi Black. I don't think he could do that accent.
Well, he's not, because there was a vignette ad and it looks like he's coming back to AEW shortly.
If there was a chance. Which there isn't. Alright, it's time. Oh wait, you know what it's actually time for?
Leanne's Signs of the PLE.
Leanne's Signs of the PLE. Leanne's Signs of the PLE. My post is mostly...
_a.
_a. Not many signs that we could read. Some were like biro signs, so...
Some were awful.
And you had usual Saudi acknowledges.
I'm surprised I didn't see any...
Stuff.
Oh, no, wrong company, never mind. Sorry.
Okay. Third place. This is actually from the first match on the card. Eat, sleep, beat Bobby, repeat. I know. It made the list because there were only 3 signs that I wrote down. It was alright.
I'm feeling Usi better be number 2.
Number 2. I am feeling Usi tonight.
Can I just point out, I've not seen her notes. That's how little amount of signs there were.
I quite like the wording. Like, it's not, I'm feeling Usi tonight. It's, I am feeling Usi tonight. I don't know if it's worth going into why it's actually funny that we discovered after the whole segment happened. No, we won't. It's funny anyway. Because it made them crack up, and that's what we like. First place. Just such a good sign. Let's set the scene. A white piece of paper. Size A4. Small sign. The text reads, "This is my sign." Beautiful. The self-referential, meta, and so small. But still readable. I mean, you gotta give it to them. It made me laugh. It's the first sign I saw. I saw it like right at the start of the show. And then again right at the end, just to round it off full circle.
There you go.
So that is my winner. This is my sign.
This is Leanne's sign.
This is my sign. Thank you for tuning in to Leanne's Signs of the PLE. Leanne's Signs of the PLE. Play. That was so worth it, wasn't it? It's so worth it. Gotta love signs. I think better signs on the non-PLE shows.
Yeah. No, we're not going to start covering every week Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown.
Please no.
No,
I
no,
haven't
no,
got
no,
time.
No. Not gonna
Why
happen.
did you even say it? Okay, let's move on to the main event. It's time for
the main event.
The main event. Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship.
My puking noise scared Rags, apparently.
He did. He doesn't like puking, apparently. Yes, this match. It was alright. It had good moments. You know what made those good moments?
Roman Reigns beating the crap out of Logan Paul.
It's good. We are biased. We'll just say that straight away.
We're not necessarily biased.
We have preconceived
We're not necessarily biased. We don't like horrid people.
We don't like Logan Paul.
He is a horrid person. That's as far as I want to go.
That's where we're going to go. We've covered it in many videos, but it's worth preempting because our opinions on this match may be skewed slightly by our dislike of the person in the match.
If you want to know, I'll just say one thing, right? If you like Logan Paul and you want to know why so many people don't like him, and I don't know why so many people do like him, just look up Logan Paul and Japan Suicide Forest. There we go.
Yeah, that's it.
Fun.
No more.
Just, it's a flight. Okay, Karrion.
It landed in my drink and then left.
That's you. No, it landed on the ridge.
No, it landed in there. I saw it. Oh well, no more drink. Anyway, he has been training with HBK.
Yeah.
Which is great. I'm glad he's putting in the effort. I don't know if it's the excitement of the big crowd and the being in the main event and doing the championship match with Roman Reigns, but I think you noticed it as well that he was
sloppy,
over enthusiastic.
That
with
hip
his
toss
moves.
Was dangerous.
Yes.
That hip toss, if Roman Reigns hadn't course corrected on his way down, he would have landed on his side and potentially broken something.
And the worst thing about that is the commentator saying, a great hip toss, and where they're like, no.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. That's potentially the worst hip toss I have ever seen.
And surely that's like one of the first offensive moves you learn, isn't it?
Yeah.
But he overplayed everything. Like, I know his whole thing was trying to get the one lucky shot and punching, but his haymakers were like,
yeah.
And it's like, oh, calm down a bit, just do a move. And there's Roman Reigns, calm as anything, just like, Superman punch. I'll do a spear. Yeah, I do my ooh-ah before it, but it's a good spear.
I will take ooh-ah over Logan Paul any day of the week.
I've never liked Roman Reigns as much as doing this now, in comparison.
We're the ones.
So Logan Paul did his entrance from a high platform. He was like live streaming or something on the way down. So, I mean, fair enough, he's a social media guy, but at the same time, you're doing an entrance to a wrestling match, and all you're doing is holding a bottle of a drink and a phone.
Yeah.
So the platform comes down. You got drones. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. Oh wait, no, it was the faces. It was a face of Roman Reigns, face of Logan Paul facing up.
Yeah, that's right.
Just fine. The main thing that made me mad in this match was not Logan Paul. It was the referee. The referee was terrible. We've seen him before. We know this guy.
Yeah.
But if two wrestlers are in the corner, they're meant to get out of the corner. Fine. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they got to get out.
Standard 5 count,
You don't. As soon as they get in the corner, place yourself between the two people.
It's usually 5 count, then you try and break them up.
Yeah, let them do their thing. And then the amount of times that they were both outside of the ring, were there any count-outs started?
No.
Nothing.
No.
They were definitely out there for like a full minute at one point. It's like, come on. I know there's a storyline and everything, but you are the referee. You're meant to make control. It at least look like you're trying to make rules happen.
Yeah.
I was getting really mad.
She was.
I got vocal at him.
She was blowing up more than the fireworks outside.
Yeah, bad ref. Don't like him. Bring in a new one. He can go. Just like give him an early retirement or something. So, let's run through the like main things. Logan Paul did a frog splash onto Roman Reigns who was on the table on the outside. I've seen a lot of frog splashes in my relatively short time of watching wrestling. This wasn't a frog splash. Frog splash, you leap off, you tuck in your arms and your legs, and then extend back out to hit. You had a little bit of arm movement from Logan Paul. Legs did nothing.
No.
So I'm calling this a jump.
Yeah.
He did a jump.
It's a splash. It's a normal splash.
Did a jump.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was bad. There's two of the guys from his entourage who are by ringside, near the commentator's table in the audience. I don't know who they are.
No.
They won't even actually they were trying to taunt, I think. They're just like saying some stuff. And then the Usos come out.
That's right, yeah.
Roman Reigns is sort of pretty beat up at this point because Logan Paul's just like
trying
to kill him or something in real life.
He almost did that with a friggin' hip toss.
I know. So they start beating up the guys in the audience, which I found a little bit odd because they didn't actually do anything. But,
It's the Usos.
it's the Usos.
They're
And
protecting the bloodline.
they're probably trying to also help because they can see Roman's down and he's the tribal chief and they want to help, but they know they can't interfere in the match itself, so they want to get out their frustration, and if they distract Logan Paul in the doing so, then great.
Yep.
So they beat them up for a bit. Then Jake Paul comes out. I think I hate that guy even more than Logan Paul. Who is he? He's a boxer, right?
Yeah.
And he's like an undefeated professional boxer.
The problem I've got with that is they kept pushing, oh, well, he beat Anderson Silva, he beat the Spider Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva's an MMA fighter, not a boxer. If you restrict his kicks, of course he's going to be at a disadvantage.
Yeah. There we go. So he comes out and knocks out the Usos.
Anderson Silva is lethal.
Yeah, Jake. I mean, the punches Jake Paul was throwing didn't look like they should have knocked out the Usos, but was fine, whatever. Solo Sikoa comes out. Doesn't actually get very far because the officials start to... They all come out and they separate them, him and Jake Paul.
Yeah.
And then the Usos rise up behind Jake Paul.
Yeah, that was great.
Which is lovely. They don't really get to do much either because Logan Paul dives over the ropes from the ring onto them. Logan Paul gets back in the ring. Roman's there, nice and ready.
Eats a Superman punch.
Spear.
1, 2, 3.
So
acknowledge the tribal chief.
Yeah. And I'd say that's Jake Paul's fault.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's the reason that big distraction was there. He's the reason Logan Paul dove out of the ring and put himself out of it before he got into the ring. So, yeah, I mean, considering how much hate we have for Logan Paul, Jake Paul, the ref, wasn't too bad.
The ref. Dear God. You're going to see every time you see him, it's my nemesis, the ref.
Nemesis. Roman Reigns is great.
Yeah.
For a long time, he was overplayed. He was, like you were saying before, shoved down our throats. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Yeah. The
one thing I didn't like in this was that Roman Reigns on his way to the ring, he kind of looked at Logan Paul and he was like he was spooked. It's like, no, don't give him that credit.
Yeah.
Because he potentially, if you hadn't twisted right out of that hip toss, he could have ended your career, mate. So no, don't do that.
I do think Roman Reigns is the king of the near fall.
Oh God, yeah.
We knew that he was not going to lose, but those close calls.
2 9/10, like.
Oh my goodness, they had us on edge. But yeah, I mean, it's alright.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And the last thing Roman says as he goes up the ring is, he never let him back in here again.
Yeah, I don't want to see him in here again.
Let's just hope, because we share that sentiment.
Yeah.
And that was Crown Jewel.
Yep. Okay, so favourite match?
Favourite match was Usos versus Brawling Brutes.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It was a banger.
I had, which one was I a bit close to? The, can't find it.
Is it the OC and Judgement Day?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
I agree.
Close.
Yeah, I agree.
Really close.
Drew and Kross, I had high hopes for, but it didn't really hit all the check boxes.
No, it could have been much better.
Yeah.
But
not to say it was bad,
so
but yeah. Okay, so I mean, I felt this was a pretty good card.
Yeah.
There wasn't any matches which I felt fell short or dud, were flat.
No dud matches.
Saying that, what was your least favourite match?
Braun Strowman versus Omos.
Really?
Yeah.
For me, I think it's Bayley and Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
Not just because of the outcome, but just because it just didn't feel like it was hitting right.
I think I was swayed a bit higher on that because I love just using random stuff as weapons. It's just fun.
But Bianca does that every week with her hair.
I know.
Yawn.
Yeah. I did get pulled a bit. Yeah. But yeah, I see where you're coming from.
No, there was just something about it. It didn't quite gel right for me.
Yeah.
It just didn't.
For me, the Braun Strowman versus Omos, I think it's largely down to the finish and how it just flipped so quickly. The tables turn in the wrong sort of way.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Good show.
Next event will be in 2 weeks' time for AEW, and that's Full Gear.
That's going to be good.
That's going to be great. There's only 2 matches announced thus far that I know of.
Yeah.
And then Survivor Series in 3 weeks.
I think, is it worth saying for our predictions for
Yeah.
the next event.
Yeah, go on, yeah.
I got some family stuff I need to take care of, so we might have to do the predictions earlier than we would normally,
Yes.
which means it's probably likely that we won't have the whole card.
Unfortunately, if AEW do for Full Gear what they did for... What was the last event? All Out. They didn't announce like 80% of the card until the Dynamite previous.
But we'll do what we can, even if it's like predicting what matches we think are going to be there.
Leanne's we're not going to be here for that. So
no, and we can sort of update in the video description.
Yeah, we know the two matches. We can sort of deep dive into that, into one of those, because one of those could be a really good sort of deep dive. Because I know one of the matches is going to be interesting.
That'd be good. Do you want to take us home?
No, you don't.
Aww.
You're the queen of taking us home, Leanne.
Am I?
Yeah. Let Rags do it.
Take us home.
Rags, take us home.
Thank you so much for watching our reactions to the WWE Premium Live Event Crown Jewel. Rags is biting.
That's enough. Come on, down you go.
Please like this video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell to be notified when we drop new videos. We'll do our predictions for the next event and we'll probably have some video game stuff and other bits and bobs in between, so look forward to that. Yeah,
so if you're an AEW fan, 2 weeks time, we'll have our reactions on the Sunday most likely. Our predictions will be out at some point during the week or previous to that. If you're not watching AEW stuff and you're watching WWE stuff, it'll be 3 weeks time.
Yes, it's not too long anyway. Nope. Hey. Comment below. Are you an AEW person? I don't know. Or why do you think Logan Paul is actually not that bad a guy? Let us know in the comments. Or don't, because Alan will get sad. Follow us on socials. Our Linktree link is in the video description. Check that out. It's also going to have links to our sort of most recent videos in different categories. So it's a good place to see what's going on. And yeah, on socials, join in the conversation, have a chat. It's fine. You're good. Anything else? Did I miss anything?
Logan Paul sucks.
Logan Paul sucks. And on that bombshell, I'm going to start doing that. On that bombshell finish.
On that bombshell, Lee Allen presents, acknowledges the tribal chief.
We're the ones.
We're the ones.